it's a bad joke when you get Raj to do the beaker face.
And he points his head down.
Yeah, he's full muppeting. He's muppeting.
I thought that was a
5,
desirable
4,
outcome.
3, 2, 1.
It's point of order. Da 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 da. Our weekly discussion of the D&D 5e rules, D&D 5e rules, occasionally interrupted by some actual role playing. This is episode 17 of our campaign, All the Time in the World. So without further ado, just making sure there's no more ado, let's jump right in. When last we left our intrepid adventurers, our party, the Quarry Boys, had just left Deepborn Cleft after having spoken directly with Larthakia's ghost and learned about a terrible artifact known as the Chronomaticum. They learned that it was Larthakia herself that activated the Chronomaticum and halted the passage of time around pending judgment about 100 years ago in order to save the world from imminent destruction. They also learned Inevitable Night was searching for various parts of the Chronomaticum in order to piece it together for nefarious purposes. Namely, the resurrection of Hastur, their god figure, and one of the prime evils that was banished from Anaril millennia ago. Upon leaving Larthakia's lair, the party stumbled across a large star spawn fighting a pair of Aarakocra, and they entered the fray, ended up defeating the monster, but not before one of the Aarakocra was slain. Lucius, in an act of quick thinking, used his newfound powers to spare the dying Aarakocra from a fate of death. And we pick up from where we left off, with the party now huffing and puffing, the combat finally having ended, and a large cry emanating from the other Aarakocra. You hear the cry, Dakir! No! And this massive bird-like figure, with a bald eagle head, drops his weapon, which clatters against the ground, and with two rapid swoops of his wings, ends up floating down next to you all. He's standing there next to you now, Lucius, as you're standing over the body of the other Aarakocra, and he's kind of rushing. You can see a panic in his eyes as he places his hands upon the Aarakocra and looks at you frantically, fervently, and asks, "Will he live?"
Bro, first off, you're like crowding me. Like, much respect for like your like eagleness, man. Your baldness is so bald, but like you gotta give me some room, man. He's dying, and I'm gonna spare him. Okay, so just back up.
He looks at you with sort of like this panic in his eyes, but he very sort of reluctantly lets go of the figure on the ground and like takes a step back. Please, please, you must help him.
Already done, man. He's not gonna die anymore, man. See, look at him. You see him? He's breathing. It's shallow for sure. I already did spare the dying, right, Raj?
Yep. You did.
Yes, you did cast Spare the Dying. Yeah.
Okay. So, man,
In a minute, it's still on and he's dead. All right.
Wait, sorry, he's dead. My bad. I would love to like, totally heal him up, man, and like so he can like wake up, but like, these magical abilities are new, man, so I don't just, sorry, but he's gonna live unless he bleeds out right now.
He seems fraught with panic, and please, will he live or will he not?
Well,
Is it true that Aarakocra bleed and bleed in and bleed out the same hole?
Man, how many? I can't even talk to you right now, man. I'm still mad. Still mad at you?
Just trying to connect,
You
connect
super-
with your culture like I connected with, your mother.
Everyone stand back. Everyone stand back. This is
Good.
useless. And I will cast Wither and Bloom on myself.
Oh.
Will that work?
Yeah.
Can he roll a hit die when he's passed out? Oh, it won't matter because I add my Constitution modifier to it, or my spell modifier. What do you think?
Why don't you just shove a good berry in his mouth?
What is the?
'Cause I thought this would be funnier
That makes sense.
casting Wither and Bloom.
on myself to take necrotic damage to heal him.
Interesting. Let me just read the.
One
Why
creature of
does-
your choice can spend and roll one of its unspent hit dice and regain a number of hit points, plus your spell casting ability modifier.
I mean, I think what's important is that we're discussing the 5e rules, and
On point of
what
order?
what order we're going to point them out in.
That's a good point.
Order that.
Of
Order that up.
Yeah, so I will say that I mean it doesn't say anything about being conscious or unconscious. So yeah, I would say that you can get
Okay.
the Aarakocra to spend a hit die. Yeah.
All right. So what else? Everyone stand back and small little form will raise its hands. So I don't know how bad this is gonna hurt. And I will see what this rolls at. Where's the dice on this one? Oh yeah. All right. Oh, 8 points of necrotic damage. You just see like my vase. This was a bad idea.
All right. So the rest of you watch as Valfire's veins start to blacken, his skin starts to wrinkle, and as like moisture, like vapor, starts to like evaporate from his skin, and his life force, some of his life force is drained away. You can see that that vapor starts to float over to the dying Aarakocra, or unconscious Aarakocra, and as it sort of as he sort of breathes it in, you can see that the creature starts to stir to life. Go ahead and roll.
For initiative?
No. Oh, it's just one of his hit dice. Is there a bone? Oh, this is spellcasting. What's your spellcasting ability?
Plus 5, yeah.
Plus 5. Okay.
Plus 5.
So let me just for the sake of posterity here. Okay.
Oh,
So
I technically I would have point of order. I could have made a Constitution saving throw to take half damage. So which I did. So I'll take
go ahead,
half of it.
all good. All right. So yeah, you managed to stave off the effect from yourself, but as the Aarakocra stirs to life, the other Aarakocra, and you can see now, looks decidedly older than the one on the ground, whose head is like sort of fully covered in white feathers, while the younger one has like sort of almost like a face mask of white feathers, where in the rest of the skull leading down to the shoulders is still kind of brownish in color. You can see he reaches down. Dakir, are you all right? And the younger one starts to stir and looks up and says, Father, did we win? Did we survive? And you can see tears welling up in the older one's eyes as he looks to you, Valfire, and to all of you and says, Thank you. Thank you for saving my son and for saving our lives.
Yeah, but where did that thing come from, by the way? That we've seen some things kind of like that, but they were pretty gross and underground. Where did that come from?
He takes a heavy breath and kind of sits down next to his son, just like, they're holding, like clasping each other on the forearm. And he kind of looks to you and sighs, looking to, and the creature's just sort of lying on the ground. And he's kind of looking over it and says, I know not from where this creature came. My son and I were traveling back to Stratus Excelsior when we were waylaid by this creature. We were trying to seek shelter in this cave, and he kind of points over to a cave over at the top of a small rise. You had seen it when you were kind of fighting the creature off in the distance a little bit, and he as he kind of points to the cave, he says, "We were seeking shelter in the cave and did not realize it was occupied by this creature, who stormed us and attacked us. We tried to flee, but he had injured my son's wing very badly, and he was unable to flee. and you can see now the wing, somewhat healed from the Wither and Bloom spell that Valfire cast, but you can see is definitely in very bad shape. We had no choice but to fight.
Oh man. Well, we know about Stratus Excelsior a little bit. Lucius, you think we need to, check in with them? We kind of have our own mission. We were going to go northwest a little bit. I don't know which way the Excelsior was going.
Lucius, like after Valfire does his healing, he kind of steps away, backs up, and is kind of pacing back and forth, about like 10, 15 feet away from this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not really engaged in the conversation, but he's like angrily kind of like muttering to himself and walking back and forth, looking at the group. Mm-hmm. So he's not hearing much of what's going on.
Okay. As you kind of like step away to kind of pace several feet away, he does look at you, and it seems like he's kind of seeing you for the first time, beyond the sorrow of potentially having lost his son, and looks at you and says, "You are. Our kind has not seen one of your like in over an age."
Bro, man, I know what you're talking about, but I am who I am, man. And honestly, if you're gonna head to Stratus Excelsior, I'd love to fly with you and escort you, make sure you get there, man.
What do you mean haven't seen one of his kind? You guys are all birds.
This one.
Yes, you guys.
Come on, Paul. Come on.
You people all look the same to me.
There it is.
There it is.
I can tell you all apart. I can barely tell Roar from you. You guys all big and hairy. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Us halflings, we have a hard time telling anyone apart.
You're just
besides other
crotch
halflings,
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
everything looks the same when you look up at their chins.
All right. So as you ask the question, Roar, he looks back at you and looks back again once at Lucius and says, He bears the mark of a goddess long forgotten."
At that mention of a goddess, Lucius kind of stops pacing. He goes, "Hey, man, what do you know about this goddess, man? What's her name? What's she look like? What's she sound like? Do you know what she sounds like? Because I think I heard her once. She was like talking to me, and there was somebody else talking to me. Maybe a goddess? I don't know, man. What do you got? By the way, still love the feathers. Respect, bro. Respect."
He slowly stands up and kind of pulls his son to his feet, and they kind of brush the dirt and gravel off of themselves. The younger one kind of steps off to start like flexing his wings to see if he can gain some flight, and while the older one kind of looks back at you and walks up to you and says, "You must forgive me. I am not religious in nature. I only know the old tales as they are told by the fireside, but there was a goddess who forsook the Aarakocra, for she did not feel that they were worthy of her divine presence. And it is said that those who bear her mark are the harbingers of her return, that they will enact her will in this world, and foretell her return once again to the Aarakocra."
What's her name, man?
She is known only as the Phoenix.
Doesn't sound at all familiar, man.
So you're like a messenger now, Lucius? That's pretty cool. Like, we all need jobs, I guess.
Yeah, and the message is for this one, and he points to, oh God, my name's escaping me. Miles, thank you. He points to Smiles, and he goes, and my message is, man, this one, stay away from my mom, man. Stay away from my mom.
Yeah, it's not really a problem of me staying away with her. Staying away from her.
Mm-hmm.
This is such a nice, great woman. Great.
Okay,
Nice, great
so
woman.
great.
Steam is coming out of his nostrils. And he like pivots and turns to the Eagles. Man, it's about time. Can I escort you now, man? I think I'm kind of done here.
Well, Lucius, how are we gonna get up there with you guys?
I'll meet up with you, man. I'm sure. I need to talk to somebody.
You know which way we're heading.
Lucius, don't you want to talk about this more? I mean, she's great. We could just talk about how wonderful she is as a person, as a bird person.
Do the Eagles like prepare to fly?
The younger one seems to be like he takes a few tentative steps, and you see him flap his wings. He starts to wince a little bit, but manages to get some air under him, and does a few swoops and kind of rotations around the area, and then eventually lands back down. He kind of nods to his father and says, "I think I am prepared, Father. I think I can make the journey back to Stratus Excelsior."
Do we see it on the horizon, or?
So it is actually not very far at all. From the ground, it looks like nothing more than a cloud, a very large cloud, sort of moving in your direction, purposefully against the wind, whereas the rest of the clouds are all sort of floating in a different direction. And you can see that it is still moving in that sort of northerly direction that you were approaching it from.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Lucius walks up to Roar, puts, a hand on each shoulder, and goes, "Man, take care of those two idiots. I'll meet up with you soon. Don't worry."
Okay, bud. Like, I hear you, bud. Mr. Phoenix representative, I guess. We're going northwest.
Lucius, man, you know me.
I know.
He pushes you. He pushes you.
Oh, I know.
Zombie bird person. Yes.
We'll spar a little bit. No, we're heading to Verminal. We're going to the west. Actually, is what it is. So, when you get done, come, look for us. I'll shoot some fireballs in the sky.
All right, man. And then he flies up, and then he waits, kind of hovers, waiting for the Eagles.
Okay.
Before Lucius gets out of earshot, Miles yells
He
out.
puts in earplugs.
Before that, say hello to your mother for me.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. What can I
Please have
do?
relations with your mother.
What can I do?
He throws a dagger at him and then flies off.
Okay. So the eagles do not appear to be moving. They walk over. Are flying at this point. They walk over to the cave, and retrieve a large, what looks to be a large lockbox.
I'll escort them over there. I'll go with them as well.
Okay. All right. You walk over the cave with them, and they pull out a large this iron lockbox that actually, Lucius, you're in the air at this point. I need you to make a perception check for me.
Iron lockbox. Sorry, I am out of practice here. Perception. 10?
10. Okay. You're what, maybe 15 feet high? Yeah, I would say that it's actually, you can spot what's on the box itself. The box itself is very finely engraved and filigreed with markings of the Feathertoe Bank. And as these creatures exit, carrying this box, sort of a handle on each side. It's sort of an oblong box, about maybe 2 feet long, and maybe about a foot tall and another foot deep. They place it on the ground, sort of gently before them, and inspect it to make sure that it's not damaged, or they just kind of make sure it's still intact.
Yeah. He flies down and says, kind of like steps between Valfire, and says, "Hey, mans, I kind of know that kind of box. I'm happy to help you carry it back up to Stratus Excelsior, man."
They look at you. They look at each other before they look at you, and the older one speaks and says, "You have done more than enough to help us. I must help you in exchange for you have saved my son's life, and whatever I can offer in return would be the least I could do." And he fumbles through his pouches, and he hands you a sack that when he places it in your hands, you can feel like the weight of coin inside the sack.
He doesn't even put his hands out. He kind of just puts it back and does that classic movie thing where he clasps his hand back, the guy's hand back over it, and he goes, "Your coin's no good with me, man. I just want to give me the pleasure of escorting you back to Stratus Excelsior. That's all I ask, man."
Would that I could. It is unfortunate that the city itself is closed to all visitors. Something has the Pulanassus Summit and Chief Minister Irabua in great consternation. They speak in hushed tones and discuss things furtively behind closed doors. And Lucius, these names are definitely familiar to you. The Pulanassus Summit is the highest sort of council body within Stratus Excelsior, and the Chief Minister Irabua Lightwind, she is the head of that council and revered as the most respected among the Aarakocra. And normally the summit takes place on an open sort of spire, like a peak, a tower, where all can come and fly up and kind of listen to the meetings and the proceedings and everything. But the news that they are speaking in hushed tones and discussing things behind closed doors is definitely anomalous to you. Normally, Aarakocra society is very open and free. There are barely any doors in the places. People can just kind of fly up to like balconies and landings and just sort of walk in to people's homes and things like that. It's very open and free among the Aarakocra, but this is definitely anomalous to you.
So you guys aren't going back? I mean, this is disturbing news, man. But I haven't been there in a long time, man.
So you're familiar with Stratus Excelsior, then? We are in fact returning. We were given special dispensation to accomplish a task on behalf of the Feathertoe Bank. As you know, the bankmaster Era is quite influential among the Pulanassus Summit, and she had requested that we retrieve an artifact from Telworth that was to be placed in safe storage within the Feathertoe Bank.
You said Telworth? I haven't been there a little bit. I got friends. How's it doing against the Senior Imperialist mean people?
A grave look comes over his face, and he says, "If you are from Telworth, then you have my condolences. Things there are not going very well for its denizens. They are suffering greatly at the hands of the neo-imperialists who wage constant war against them, and the recruits into the resistance are dwindling, as I understand. On top of that, it is thought that the Obsidian Ring is playing games of politics within the city itself, and there has been talk and rumors of assassinations within the resistance leadership by the Obsidian Ring. And most recent of all, we have heard rumors that there are werewolves abound on the outskirts and are waylaying the citizens who attempt to travel in and out of Telworth."
Yeah, we've heard some rumblings of that stuff.
Did you say werewolf?
I did, everyone. Does this have meaning for you?
Maybe.
Yes, it does. And I turn into a wolf and I go running off.
All right, make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Do it, yeah.
I'm just imagining you saying, and like there's a pause and we're all like waiting, and then you go, "Yes, it does," and then you.
24.
24. Okay. So you managed to retain control of your senses, and you're on all fours before you even make the full transformation. Before you even get like 3 or 4 steps in, though, your limbs have fully kind of changed. The fur is covering your back, and you are just bounding off into the wilderness of the Broken Waste.
I want Roar not to have moved or looked at it and just go, "Yeah, so it's complicated." Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're just kind of pointing your thumb behind you, like he does that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't have said wolf.
Yeah, it's a trigger word for him. So, Okay.
Please forgive me. I did not mean to cause a disturbance among you fine folk. You have rescued me, and that was the last thing I wished to incur
No harm,
upon
no
you.
foul. It probably won't eat you. It's okay. Well, gosh.
Very well.
Yeah, Lucius.
Forgive me. I should introduce myself. I am Kakak, and this is my son Dakir, and we are emissaries of the Feathertoe Bank here in the Broken Waste. We help to collect artifacts that those with means wish to maintain with the utmost security and store it within our bank vaults.
Bro, man, did you say your name is Kakak? And your
Kakak.
son...
So you know that he's actually pronouncing it in sort of like the common pronunciation. The actual name is more like Kakak, and his son Dakir is more like Dakir.
Wait, what is Lucius's name in true Eric Okran then?
Yeah.
You know?
What
is
is
it?
Lucius?
Tell us, Lucius.
Old has to come to me. Old. It's more like...
Do you have?
I have something in my head that
we're ready.
Too much kakak in your mouth there? Can't get it out?
I knew it was coming out. I knew someone was gonna make it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was hinting at that, but it's probably more like a songbird. So it's like Lucius.
Maybe
Lucius.
Oh, so it's the emphasis on the first syllable.
Lucius.
Good,
And it's
good.
but you know how songbirds are like Lucius, 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 Lucius. So that's like he hears that, and that's his mom calling him like Lucius, Lucius, Lucius.
Oh yeah, this is good.
Okay.
Just remember, Raj, you started it.
So you didn't have to finish it.
Oh my God! But you do.
And
You don't want to
the
have
rest-
bluebirds. You don't have bluebirds.
And the rest of this episode will be dedicated to us making bird calls. There you go.
Birds aren't real, man.
Don't
Birds aren't real.
encourage us.
All
No,
right.
they're CIA operatives.
Yeah.
Can I ask Kakak and Dakir, really Kakak?
Kakar.
Sorry, and Dick
Kark.
here.
Is it
Is it
Kark?
Dick? It's
Yes.
Dick here.
Oh, Kakar.
Cacarrk.
Oh
And-
man,
Dakir is Deqeer.
Tyler-
That's
Get it.
too hard. Mine's
I just got it.
Keeping.
No, there's no joke there. There's no
Yeah,
joke
I
there.
just got it.
No, there's
we
no
have
joke.
two
So,
birds
Tyler,
in the
you're
hand.
the Paul of this episode.
Yeah. So.
This is literally just onomatopoeia of bird sounds.
Oh man. The
Okay,
jacket's coming
so-
off.
Yeah, there you go. So to Kakark, I'll ask. Artifacts. We're actually on a quest to go find a couple artifacts. You haven't been into to Vrenamall recently, have you, Vrenamall?
Bremenal. No, I have not. I'm not familiar with the area of the Macross.
Lucky you.
We have no cause to go there, as there are few with means to actually take advantage of the Feathertoe Bank's vaults.
Okay, just checking. Thanks. Well, what time is it, Rush?
It would be midday. So
Yeah.
not actually. You haven't traveled very far
Yeah, no.
since you exited Deepborn Cleft. So yeah, it's pretty early. It's
Well-
relatively early in the day.
We're going that way. So nice to meet you.
And which way are you pointing?
West.
Ah, okay. He looks that way and kind of shakes his head. The journey there is fraught with peril. I would recommend perhaps a better means of travel. The city of Stratus Excelsior is known for its cloud runners. And Lucius, you know that the cloud runners are these small sort of sky ships, these little skiffs almost that can hover across the ground or hover over the ground and get to a reasonable height, maybe about 500 feet or so. But do require like an arcane sort of recharging at intervals, depending on how much you use it. but they are exclusively used by the Aarakocra and jealously guarded, as they contain, or as they're manufactured through a secret process that allows them to give lift or the power of levitation essentially to inanimate objects, and it's a secret that they guard very jealously.
Yeah, Lucius will add, man, I don't even know that's yours to offer to us. I mean, even if we wanted it, I haven't been there in forever, but I know that's no bueno, man.
It is not something that I can offer you directly, but the least I could do is offer you some information, perhaps. Recently, the Asa family, and you know this name as the largest purveyor of cloud runners, the family that sells cloud runners in Stratus Excelsior, came across an inoperable cloud runner that was sold to a small gnome in the city of Cordis, not far from here. Perhaps the gnome himself might be willing to part this cloud runner. They thought they had got the better of this gnome when they sold it to him, as it did not work, but the gnome, with his tremendous curiosity, purchased it anyway for a modest sum. But imagine the Asa's family's consternation when they learned that he had actually got it working once more. And now it is a very closely watched and spied upon, if I may say, artifact in the possession of others. And I will tell you this, the Asa family would like to retrieve this Cloud Runner, so perhaps you could curry favor with them if you were to find a way to cause the gnome to part ways with it and return it to Stratus Excelsior.
I mean, no.
Hobart thither yonder?
I do not know the name of this gnome. I've only heard rumors.
Man, no offense to your eagleness, man, but like, why would we want to curry favor with the Asa family? That's neither here nor up there, man.
Well, currying favor with one of the more powerful families within Stratus Excelsior might gain you entry into the city if that is what you seek.
No, I don't seek that.
No,
At
we have much more important. We need to go west, and we need to do that as fast as possible.
Side question. Is it a good idea? I don't know.
I get the impression, side response to your side question. I mean, Lucius is the only one who's interested in getting up there. He turns to the Eagles. He's like,
and they also don't allow others up there.
Yeah.
Well,
but if you were to return a Cloud Runner to its rightful place, then you would perhaps be granted entry into the city as benefactors.
Yeah.
Additionally, you could use this Cloud Runner to travel west at great haste. The journey on foot will take you many weeks.
I'm more interested in my slow friends catching up with me, and so we can go faster. So yeah. Remember, we came from Cordis, didn't we?
We're 40 miles northwest of Cordis right now. Venimo is 75 or 100 miles west right now.
So
yeah, but I mean, what he said was the journey was full of perils, and that
I'm strong. I can fight.
That it could take weeks, or even weeks.
Bros, let's go back to Cordis, man, because if you recall, in our first perilous, adventure, I died. So let's go. Let's take the less perilous adventure, man.
We did learn some stuff. We probably could maybe get some help from Sidonius.
Yeah, do you think maybe it means that you can't die, though? Like, maybe you just always come back. Maybe we could use that to our advantage.
We could test it.
Yeah, let's test.
I'd slowly unsheath a rapier.
Rose. No.
And I slowly hold person. Lucius.
All right, make a wisdom saving throw.
No.
Damn it.
I don't have that spell.
Yeah, only I.
I have freeze in place.
We're playing freeze tag.
Oh man. Oh, but I do have hypnotic pattern.
Red light glimmer night?
There you go. Okay, so oh man, that is quite something. I mean, are we backtracking to Cordis? I mean, we did find Larthakia. That's a pretty big deal. I'm just terrified of that, and I'll point at pending judgment, because we know what's in there now, and we need to make sure that the bad guys don't unlock it.
As Kakark kind of responds, and he says, "Something strange certainly brews in the vicinity of pending judgment. All we know is that the Airy travels in that direction at the behest of Chief Minister Lightwind, but we do not know why. This information
The
is kept
Stardust
behind
Excelsior is
closed doors.
going to pending judgment.
That is correct.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I think that can only be good, right? That can only be good.
That
Good
no,
thing. Yeah.
No.
Because they can be
Quick
together.
sidebar. Can I sidebar with my team here?
Side question? What?
So you
Side question.
kind of step
I'm
away from
imagining
the
as we sidebar, like Smiles tries to like, you know how you do the huddle, you put your arms around.
Yep.
Smiles happens to end up next to me, and he tries to put his arms around me, and I'm like, stop.
Okay.
They're their son, baby buddy.
Okay, so here's the thing, guys. Stardust Excelsior going toward pending judgment, which is either good because they've got something to, like to prevent it, or really bad. They've been corrupted and they're gonna go use a piece of something bad to try and unlock it. You know, like
Or
I feel like those are
people
the
just
options.
sometimes say being together in company is nice, and I think they could just be trying to be friendly and
I'll
nice.
slap in the back of the head and go, no, bud, we got some big problems here. This is bad. So we need to get.
What was that?
We need to get. I've 10-foot reach, by the way. Like I'm like around the circle twice to hit you in the back of the head.
Did you guys see that?
Okay, so game plan. We need to get to Bremenal, because we know a piece of the Chronomaticum is there. Fastest way to get there. We go Perilous Journey, or we go back to Cordis, rob Hobart Thither Yonder, go to Stress Excelsior, or not. Maybe we just rob Hobart Thither Yonder and we just go. We just take the the Cloud Runner and go to Bremenal.
I don't know how to drive a cloud niner. Do you
How?
know how to drive one of those?
How hard could it be?
I
Do you know what I
mean,
mean?
have you tried driving a carriage before without the horse? It doesn't even make sense.
I shoot a fireball out of my fingertips. I
saw it
drive-
come out your butt when you held the little fire there and tooted.
Yeah, that was
That was a
really funny.
fireball.
That was really funny, though. It's really funny. I can figure it out. I'm just saying.
Okay, well,
Okay.
let's talk. Okay.
Back to Cordis. You know what? We can maybe.
Well, sorry. Let me jump in here for one moment.
Yeah.
On this rant.
Yeah.
And I look over to Kaka. I said,
A cart.
"This will be the day you remember your meeting with the Quarry boys. That's it. I just want to let you know. I don't think we formally introduced ourselves. I'm Quarry Boy 1. This is
wait, didn't
Quarry
you-
Boy 2.
Didn't you run off as a wolf?
But I came back.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I came back.
I would have come back, you guys. I would have come back.
No, I came back earlier. I was like
Okay,
when he
all
was
right.
when he was huddling, and I'm like, hold on. And maybe I'm like so short. I'm behind Lucius's wings that no one noticed me until this moment. Just like show up around his things.
I'm imagining, Raj, that they are like, you know, in classic like bigoted perspective, the Eagles like perceive me as the leader of this band, so they're probably like, oh yeah, it's the Phoenix and his Quarry Boys. Like that's the name of the group, like Phoenix and the Quarry Boys.
That's actually a pretty good band name.
Yeah, it is.
But you're probably like trying to level us all up, and they're like, yeah, man, the Phoenix and the Quarry Boys, man.
That's a nice ring.
But I was
to
like,
it.
well, and maybe I missed this part while I was turned away. This ship you're talking about. Even if we get it, how do we get it back and deliver to the people who need it?
Hey,
we don't worry about that. We don't worry about that.
I got an idea. Is that we use it and we go there first, and then when we're done with it, we return it.
I'm right there with you.
But you know what? Actually, I think we might have been spent 45 minutes so far and still gone nowhere and done anything.
Okay, back to Cordis it is. Are they coming with us?
Or we could just hang out here and look in that cave. You want to look in the cave? Let's see what else is in the cave.
Hortus, man, let's go. Eagle Bros, and he gives him the classic like Eagle or like Stratus Excelsior handshake, which is like wings and it's like some weird handshake.
Okay.
Can I try and write that down? And
I would
and
also like to try to memorize that handshake.
I pop eagle or owl out, and I'm like,
It
remember
very
this.
much involves
Remember this.
It very much involves lots of wing action, so that you can't be replicated by non-air.
I still would like to try.
I need you both to
I change into an Aarakocra, and I start miming it out, and then I turn to Roar and I say, I think it's a mating dance.
Okay. I need you all to make intelligence checks to see
I
if you
would
can
love
remember it. It is a DC 14, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
One of
Come
us
on.
is going to remember it for sure.
19 on the die. 25, baby.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, sorry. That was a 1, but I cannot roll ones.
No,
So
you
there go.
cannot.
Was it intelligence check or
Oh,
intelligence saving throw?
smiles. That's so
Intelligence
perfect.
check.
All right, let's see. Oh, 15.
15. Okay. All right. So the two of you, Roar
Oh, we definitely
and-
start doing it as soon as we.
Valfire.
as soon as we-
Only Owl does. Only Owl does. I'm just like,
Oh, okay. The problem is Owl doesn't have any arms. He only has the wings.
It
Right.
requires arms and wings.
Yeah. So it's a
Oh.
handshake, right? So
And there is the kid and play kick step somewhere in there as well, so it requires all 3 sets of limbs.
there you go.
I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like Owl and Roar could do it together as one.
We'll
The
try.
owl in the front with the wings, and Roar with the giant gorilla arms.
make a performance check.
Oh, I would love to. That's something I've never. +3. 13.
Yeah, sure. It's obviously comical because the owl's wings are very tiny and your arms are like extra long. But
They're enormous. Yeah.
I would like to do it as well. From what I gathered with my intelligence check of 9.
yeah, you don't remember it. It's terrible. And Valfire, you also managed to memorize the pattern.
While anyone who's trying to do it is doing it, I'm imagining all 3 Aarakocra giving the cricket fan who's like angry at the cricket game. Yes, to just stand with the hands on the hips, just looking, like arms crossed, just looking like. No.
And I'm like, Quarry boys. Gorgeous. Okay, cool.
All right,
All right, let's go.
So you execute the very complicated hand and wing gestures of Stratus Excelsior, and they nod their thanks to you all, and gather the large lockbox between the two of them, and take flight. Or before they take flight, Kakark does stop and say to you all, I thank you all once again for saving the life of my son. Know that we are forever in your debt, and should you make your way to Stratus Excelsior, do not hesitate to call upon us. We shall help you where we can.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely, bud.
And they nod, and they grab the lockbox between the two of them and fly off, spiraling upward towards Stratus Excelsior, and eventually you lose sight of them as they make their way towards the clouds.
Okay.
Before we do anything else, I take a short rest. I say I need an hour. All right, you guys can figure out what you're gonna do, but before we
I
do
need
anything else, I
a-
need a
Yeah, I need a short rest as well to use some hit die.
Okay. Owls will fly around and check watches.
Hang on now. As we go take our short rest, I take a moment and I say, oof. Adventuring can be tough. Fights and danger, that's no bluff. But with rest and some divine aid, we'll be back on track. No need to be afraid. And, sing a little song rest.
Okay.
What does that do again?
Yeah, I don't know.
Add a
entertain.
D6 or D8?
I don't know.
I think a D6.
You figure it out.
I focused so much on the song, I don't know what it gave me.
Is it a D8?
I don't know
now?
what it does. Did it do something for you? Hang on. Let me read. I'll read. I lost that feat. Oh, that's okay. Interesting. Sorry. Okay. If you or any friendly creatures who can hear you perform regain hit points, blah blah blah. Sort of hit dice. Each you get an extra 1d6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That doesn't scale up with your level?
Not yet,
Oh, okay.
or at all.
I rolled 3 1s so far.
It will at 9th level. It will scale up.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll the d6 smiles, and that's the number that they can add to their hit dice rolls.
Oh, I roll the same one for everybody.
It's just one die, and that everybody adds that number to their regained hit points.
Well, you can regain 4 additional hit points.
All right. If you're spending a hit
If
die,
you're spending at least a hit die.
Is it per hit die or just?
No. It's just a one-time on top of. Yeah.
I cannot believe I rolled 3 ones.
Plus 4.
Plus your stuff. Okay.
Oh, that was way too much.
Smart. We're gonna beeline back to Cordis, apparently.
Okay. All right. And so while the party takes a short rest, we are actually going to take a rest in real life, and we'll break here for a little bit and return shortly.
Will be beautiful.
All right.
It's a bad joke when you get Raj to do the beaker face.
And he points his head down.
Yeah, he's full muppeting. He's muppeting.
I thought that was a desirable
4,
outcome.
3, 2, 1.
And we're back. All right. We pick up from where we left off with the party making their way back towards Cordis after a brief encounter with some wayward Aarakocra. I need you all to roll percentile dice for me as you make the journey back. One of you, please, roll percentile.
82.
You got it? You got it?
I did it. 82.
82. All right. Your first day of travel passes uneventfully as you traverse the broken waste, and night falls as you clamber over the rocks on your journey back towards Cordis. Excuse me. Go ahead. How are you dividing up the watches, etc.?
The first night?
I was gonna fly around. I'll watch first.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Love to.
Also, I'll be setting up traps around our area where we're making camp.
Okay, very good.
That is it's an 8 on the die for a 6.
6. Okay. Go ahead and roll for Owl as well. And Owl can roll with advantage.
Owl can roll with advantage. He gets... Wow, that is really bad. It's a 9. I believe it's a 13.
13. Okay. Your watch passes uneventfully. Next watch.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Wake up the wolf.
That way I can get some sleep at the end.
Yeah.
So I'll turn into a dire wolf for my watch.
Okay. Make a wisdom saving throw for me, and then go ahead and make a perception check. Or well,
21.
Let's see what happens. Sorry.
21.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Go ahead and make a perception check for me. You can roll with advantage.
$22.
Okay. You do not perceive anything during your watch. Things are relatively uneventful. And who's going to take the last watch of the evening?
I'll do it. Slow.
Okay.
You're slow.
All right. Go ahead and roll perception for me while you're watching.
8.
8. All right. You do not perceive anything as well, but you are distracted during the night by thoughts that come to you regarding the events of the previous day, the issue with Smiles, and how is it that he knows your mother, and how did this relationship that he's talking about come into being, and these and the meeting with Kakark and his son. Who is this goddess that he was talking about, and what does it mean to be a harbinger of this goddess? It's not these are the thoughts that are kind of floating in your mind and preventing you from.
I'm actually imagining I'm looking to the sky for answers, like the constellations, and I probably still see the Stratus Excelsior, like the cloud at some point, like moving off in the distance and pending judgment, and Just like there's a lot I'm looking to the constellations for.
Yeah.
Is there a constellation that's traditionally for representative of the Phoenix?
Not that you're aware. Well, go ahead and make a history check for me.
Right. But this is not gonna be very good. Ooh, 20. Dirty.
20. Dirty 20. So you do know that one of the there is a constellation associated with the Phoenix, and the way the sky, the stars sort of rotate around in the sky, keeps the Phoenix actually below the horizon for most of the evening. But as you take the last watch and just before the sun rises, you start to see the Phoenix constellation begin to rise before it fades out as the light of the sun starts to crawl over the broken waste, and that ends the night and your watch.
Yeah. Okay. If anybody wakes early as the watch is ending, and the watch is ending, the sun is rising, you'll just hear Lucius muttering to himself, Phoenix, Lucius.
All right. So the night passes uneventfully. And what I'm going to say is, based on the 82 that you all rolled on the percentile dice, I'm going to use that as sort of like a, for the sake of expediency, just use that as the check for what happens for the next several days. And the rest of your journey over the next 4 days is equally uneventful. The going is tough. And the constant sort of subsistence on good berries is nourishing, but not exactly fulfilling. But you do eventually make it back to Cordis after a few days, tired, dirty, hungry, but certainly alive.
Point out that after that first night's rest, and Roar had done his watch, and while doing the watch, he was inscribing in his spell book and studying and muttering. And the next night, when we did bed down, he rubs his hands together, speaks some words, and a semi-translucent hut appears for us to sleep under. So as we go back each night, we bed down in a big old quarry boy hut.
All right. What is
big old hut? Big old hut.
What does the hut look like?
The hut is it's moldering. It's
kind of Java.
Java, yeah, no. It's dark because I realize we probably need to blend in a little bit and not take too much attention. So it's more like when you look at hot coals that are starting to burn out and softly glowing with some purple wisps, as that does kind of remind me of the shadow blade that I occasionally use as well.
Nice. All right. So you spend a few uneventful nights under the protection of the hut that Roar continuously conjures every evening, and eventually make your way back to Cordis. It is getting towards the end of the day on the 5th day of travel, essentially, and as the sun begins to set, you all find yourselves returning to the outskirts, the western outskirts of the town. There's a small sort of outpost there that you had passed along the way out, where you find several guards just kind of like throwing dice, and similar to the way that they kind of eyed you very closely before going back to their game, they do so again, this time giving you a little bit of a longer, sort of a queerer stare as you come back entirely disheveled, covered in the soot and dirt of the broken waste, and as you go past, they turn back to their game, and you find yourselves within the confines of Cordis once more. And it is around this area actually where you find the quarry empty. Surprisingly, maybe not so surprisingly, no one's been around to organize the games, and a couple of maybe a couple of people are kind of like loitering about among the benches of this sort of sunken area, but there doesn't seem to be any sort of games going on at this point.
I'm gonna make my way over to Underwoods. See if somebody's there.
Okay, you're gonna head off to Underwoods. What are the rest of you gonna do?
Dark looks. Get some real food.
Okay, Underwoods, Starclux. What else?
Third tier. Yeah, I mean, I'll go to Underwoods because we'll go there first, and then I think then it makes sense to go there and then go find Sidonius.
Okay, Valfire.
Yeah, I'm just following along.
Okay, well, Lucius is going to Starclux and Smiles is going to.
I imagine there's a Starclux on the way. There's a
one across
Starclux
from
on
each-
every street corner.
Yeah.
Sure. Some of them
Technically,
have
they're canyon and cliff levels.
Right.
right.
That's right. Some have more seating than others. You know.
All right.
So I guess I just be keeping an eye out as we walk around.
Okay, go and make a perception check as you're watching around.
27.
27. All right. As you enter the city and make your way through West Crack towards the more populated area of town, you do notice that out of the corner of your eye, you see a figure steeped in the shadow, furtively kind of following you. But then, as soon as you turn around to look, the figure disappears behind a corner and is nowhere to be seen.
Is this figure also making noises like?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
No.
All right, I'll just make a mental note of that, and then keep walking.
Okay. As you all continue to walk, you find a Starclux somewhere around the town, the plaza in the center of town, and eventually fill your bellies with some actual food. Go ahead and I'll say scratch off like 8 silver pieces if you're gonna buy some food, and then as you exit the Starclux and make your way into the plaza, you see that the day's kind of commotion is starting to die down as people are traversing, heading back to their homes for the evening. One thing that strikes your notice is that the lift seems to be operational once more, and that in the intervening period, the town seems to have cobbled it together once again. And you can hear the familiar sort of clopping of the hooves of these claw feet who are rotating this giant circle, causing the lift to kind of elevate and descend, creaking and clanking along the metal sort of rails in full effect, and the shouting of Wegla Copperknuckle, the dwarven lift operator, as she shouts, surface level 1, level 2, etc. As people kind of go up and down their up and down. Another familiar sight you see is Merciless, the red-scaled dragonborn, who seems to be kind of packing up for the evening. Kind of folding up his little stool and grabbing his gear and his belongings and sort of like having finished proselytizing for the day, kind of making his way back to wherever his home is. Other than that, everything seems to be the normal city that you left behind.
Okay.
So you guys are going to Underwoods, is that correct?
Underwoods, 3rd tier.
Okay. All right. So travel with the lift operational once more is very simple at this point. You get upon the lift, and the lift starts with a jolt as it begins to descend. And for a second, you all kind of look at each other strangely, like, is this thing gonna fall again? But it makes its way back to the 3rd level without any incident, and you find yourselves in front of the storefront of Underwoods. The familiar sign, rife with all these gears and cogs and wheels and spring-like mechanisms spelling out the name Underwoods. and the door before you.
Go on in. Who's inside? What do we see?
Okay, you go inside and you see among the shelves of scattered and sort of haphazardly placed knickknacks and items and various goods. Behind the main counter, standing on a stool as usual to kind of elevate himself above the surface. The level is Hobart Thither Yonder, the gnome, and you can see him working on some sort of contraption of sorts. This one rather sort of a large kind of box-shaped thing, object, and you can see that almost got it. Ah, there we go. And you see him start turning a crank, and you hear like music start playing, dun 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 dun, dun. And then suddenly a spring-coiled mechanism releases, and you can kind of see this flopping sort of jack-in-the-box like emerge rather suddenly. A bit early, but at least we've got it in the right place, so a little more work perhaps. And he starts retracting it and going back to work on it with his tools. Among the shelves, you also see the top behind several shelves. You see the top of someone's head, a shock of red hair appearing sort of over it, and like you can see like green eyes kind of peering over the top of the shelf, and you can see them kind of grow like really stern all of a sudden as they look upon you. Smiles, and then you can hear the familiar sort of like rapid sort of boot stomps, and the figure who turns out to be Cerise walks up to Hobart and she's like, "I'm done for the day," and he's like, all right," and just kind of waves her off without even paying attention. And she walks up to
Lucius, you have the opportunity to do the best thing. Keep going, Raj.
All right. She walks up to you, and your face starts to glow red hot with pain before the slap even comes. And there is a quick sort of psh, and then she grabs you by the shirt and drags you in for a kiss before she pushes you farther away and slaps you again one more time on the other cheek. Where in the nine hells have you been, Smiles?
Oh, you wouldn't believe me if I told you, but we've been halfway to Tellworth and everywhere, and in the rain, and I tried to get back to you. This is as fast as I could get back. I'm so sorry.
You are sorry. You are one of the sorriest people I have ever met in my life, Smiles.
God, you're beautiful when you're angry. Beautiful when you're sad, and beautiful when you're happy.
And you are stupid no matter what you say or do.
Yeah.
Now, who are these people? And she's kind of like pointing at your companions.
Yeah, Smiles is just kind of standing there, the grin on his face, and he's just, obviously taken.
Lucius is like, "Hey man, Smiles, is this like, one of your many ladies that you always are telling us all about, man?"
I turn around, I'm like, "This is my only lady."
Doesn't seem to be the way you talk, man. And I saw you with that one girl, she was gnomish. You said you like him like that. I don't know, man.
You're
not duck.
There's love of the past. There's love of the future, but then this is love of all time.
She shoves you really hard. Who is this gnomish hussy?
Yeah, you should...
Exactly that. She's a hussy, and I wouldn't have anything to do with her.
I mean, more than once, I guess, but
Well, you know what you say, Cerise, is that I should always be sure, right? You always tell me to think twice, right? Don't you always say that?
For you, I think it needs to be a little bit more than twice, Smiles.
Okay.
Now, introduce me to your friends.
And I kind of get back and say, "These, ladies and gentlemen, are the Quarry Boys. Come one, come all, and see the finest show on earth. In the left ring, it's Roar."
And Owl will be perched on my hand too, and I'll make him wave with his wing.
And in the center ring,
Roar, must I do this?
Prince of the Night,
Do it.
It's the Valfire.
Hey. And I'll shoot vines out of my hands.
They just like plop into the ground.
She's like looking like decidedly unimpressed.
And in our aerial arena, the family man himself, Mama's boy, it's Lucius.
Lucius just like sticks his hand up and then like starts doing the crank.
Does he do it to Smiles or?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the smiles.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, he's still working on his show business, on his showmanship. It's a work in progress. We're the Quarry boys now.
Well, at least Smiles is not getting into nonsense by himself again. She walks over to you, Lucius, and shakes your hand. My name is Cerise Underwood.
And yeah, Cerise, man, like totally, like so nice to meet you. You are one gorgeous lady. And he like grabs her hand and kisses her hand. Question: what is your relationship with Smiles again? I mean, because he doesn't talk about you at all. So I just wanted to confirm that. What was your relationship? Because if you're single, I'm happy to mingle, but you know.
She kind of looks you up and down. Maybe we'll talk some more. Then she walks over to Valfire and introduces herself, Cerise Underwood, and shakes her hand.
Nice to meet you. You're a tall one. I would need a ladder to date you.
And then she walks over to Aurora.
Oh wait, no, I don't. And I cast enlarge on myself.
Do it.
Okay.
See, I'm very flexible. I could also make you as small as me for a minute. That's all I'll need.
There it is.
He's back, baby.
Figured it out.
She
he found his zone. He found a slot.
Make a charisma check, a general charisma check.
General charisma.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm like.
That's about right. With a 3. Yeah, she kind of looks at you with like clear distaste on her face, and then walks over to Smiles, or to Roar. As she's walking over, she says she looks at you, Smiles, for a second. She's like, Smiles, I do not know what you were doing out there in the Broken Waste with this storm brewing, coming in. It's like things were so dangerous around here. It just seems like
Sir, you're right, and I'm so dumb. You know I'm so dumb. That's why I need you. You're the only one for me, and you nobody understands me like you do. No, everybody else.
Ask her about the flying ship, Smiles.
And I just, if I was when I was out there, I thought if something happened to me, what would happen to you? And I couldn't. That's why we had to come back. And
yeah. Okay. All right. I've heard this speech several times. As she walks up to Roar, and she kind of looks over your shoulder, Roar, and it says, "Storms always seem to be brewing in the north." And then she offers to shake your hand, Cerise Underwood.
Oh, hi there. Yep. Roar. Ember Main. At your service. Yeah. We could use your help. You're Underwood, huh? Like, I know Hobart runs this place, but like, are you really the one who runs it? You know what I mean?
This is perhaps a story for another time, but my family once owned this place.
Cool. So here's the deal. Smiles is lying to you a lot. We are on really important mission. We're like basically secret agents. Don't tell anyone. And
agent man.
Show her your badge. Don't you have a badge?
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not like pull a little bit of.
Whoa! Don't! Hey! That's my lady. That's my lady.
The fur back, and there's a badge just like jammed in my body.
Okay.
We were detailed by High Marshal Lavella Morstrider and a couple other secret people. The thing is, we got to get going, and we got to move fast through the Broken Waste. And we heard there's a Cloud Strider here, and if that's true, do you have the keys?
Bro, man, it's not a Cloud Strider, it's a Cloud Runner.
Cloud Runner. Cloud Runner.
She kind of looks at you quizzically for a second, and then says, she kind of looks over your shoulder one more time and says, "Storms always seem to be brewing in the north."
Hey,
Go on for a
we're gonna go west if we can get the cloud runner.
You're looking for, yeah. Hold on, and like you guys are still in the doorway of Underwoods, and she shoves you all outside of the store, and pulls you into a short alley, like sort of between two buildings.
Yeah.
And says, "You idiots! You're talking about taking that cloud runner while Hobart is right there. What is your problem?"
I mean, I don't think he'll be able to catch us.
We were just going to borrow it for a little bit. Does he have it? He must be, huh? You've just confirmed it. All right,
Yes,
let's go
he
in and
has
get
it.
it.
It's not a secret. It was sold to him by a bunch of some Aarakocra who thought it wasn't working, but he's a lot smarter than he looks, and he was able to get it working again, and he keeps it in storage in a shed up in West Crack. Or East Crack, sorry, in East Crack, in a warehouse in East Crack.
Would you think he would sell it to us?
That would certainly be the most legitimate way for you to get at it. What do you need it for?
Well, I can't be away from you for this long again. And my friends and I, we have our club. We've got our fun. Our
Save the world. We're trying to save the world.
It's just an activity. You said I should get activities, and then would it make our time together more special?
We're like on a mission from God.
Whoa. Wait. Who's on a mission from God?
Pretty sure we all are.
Yeah, it's the mission. We all go on mission, after we do Quarry Boys, then we have to do the mission. Yeah.
Listen, can you
Trials, I have no reason to trust you or any of your friends here. You have been lying to me continuously for weeks now, and I haven't seen hide nor hair of you. You keep disappearing off who knows where, and for what purpose.
We know where. Totally, man.
Cerise, you're so right. Would you come with us?
No, I will not go with you on whatever darn fool expedition you're planning. This is ridiculous.
They're actually pretty capable. Well, okay. So, Smiles, we're gonna need you to smooth talk Hobart up there and arrange for some Cloud Runner action.
Well, Cerise, would you just have dinner with me tonight? I'd just love to gaze into your eyes.
Give me one good reason why I should even entertain that thought.
I'll give you two, and I'll wink with each eye.
Go ahead and make a persuasion.
It's like the dumbest winks I've ever seen.
That's a That's a 21.
Oh, is that all? So her gaze does soften a little bit, but she's still locked very sternly on you. Make an insight check. Actually, sorry, not you. Horror, make an insight check for me.
Yeah, I'm good. I want to pull her aside in a second. Really good. 19 for a 17.
Okay.
Well, right. I rolled a 15.
All right. There is her gaze keeps
indeed
diverting from you, Smiles. She seems distracted by something, but she looks at you and says, "All right, I'll have dinner with you in 3 nights. If you're around, we can have dinner, and you can gaze into my lovely eyes and tell me how beautiful I am."
I have to beg that you come with us.
I am not leaving Underwoods ever again. I've already made this clear to you. The last time I left, look what happened.
Why? Well, it's you're right. You're always right, actually. But can't we just have dinner tonight? And we end in 3 nights.
No. And the reason for that is you keep disappearing. I don't know where you're going to be tomorrow. I don't know where you're going to be the next day. If you want to have dinner, I need you to be here in 3 nights.
Breakfast tomorrow?
I'll think about it. It's been a while since I've been to Starclubs.
I can pick something fancy out for us.
Smiles, will you go have a word with Hobart? You're our talker.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'll go talk to him.
As he goes in there, I'd like to just pull Cerise aside a little bit,
Okay.
like away from the others.
What are Lucius and Valfire doing?
We are like just standing back, kind of like I'm just looking around. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
I
kind of
just-
like
I
on
don't-
guard, but not really. I'm like, bro, man, little tiny scary bro. You think we're gonna get this? Like this Smiles guy really? What is that? His wife? I don't think we're gonna get this Sky Runner, Cloud Runner.
No, we probably will have to steal it, but it'll be fine. While he's talking to me, I'm not really
Nice.
listening to what he's saying. I said, yeah. Smiles, yeah, girl. Yeah. And I'm like he's talking, but I'm not listening, and I'm looking around for that like shadowy figure that I saw.
Nice.
Okay.
Cool.
Make another perception check for me.
Yeah, girl. Yeah. Star Clocks.
Star Clouds. Yes. Yes, zombie man.
Yeah, you should definitely get another poppy seed muffin. Yeah.
Just start throwing good berries over there.
Seeds in the corner.
Seeds. Yes. I see you, Birdman. Stop distracting me! And I only rolled a 10.
10. Okay.
I'm
You
like
do not
I'm like
notice
getting
anything-
in front of you.
Yeah, you do not notice anything at this point. Lucius is definitely like getting. He's like, "Why aren't you paying attention to me, man?" But
Okay.
yeah, nothing else makes itself apparent. Okay.
Those guys are distracted.
Smiles. Yeah, you go inside to talk to Hobart, but hold on. Wait, hold on. But Rory, you pull Cerise aside. He's like,
Yeah.
"Can I help
Now,
you?"
oh, you say storms brewing in the north. I hear that they say that's where the Storm Lord keeps his home.
She looks around. Crack of thunder on all our heads. And she walks out of the alley. And rejoins the conversation with Valfire and Lucius.
Okay.
Hobart is approached by Smiles. So as you walk into the store, you find him still working on this Jack in the Box. What do you do?
So as Roar pulls Cerise aside and she's not looking, I shift into the Dragonborn and Atholi
Okay.
and enter the shop. And
Where's this going?
I say, "Привет, Hobart, either yonder." It is I, Anatoly.
Oh, I remember you. You were in the market for some silver, weren't you? Did you find
Yes.
some?
This is true, not find any silver. But now I'm think about your cloud runner that I hear you have running. Is it true?
Oh, you've heard about the Cloud Runner, have you? I've heard a few inquiries about it, but I'll tell you this. It's not for the light of purse. This here object, this artifact, is straight from Stratus Excelsior, and I've made a few modifications to it.
Well, actually, maybe we could work out lease agreement.
A lease agreement? Tell me more, my friend. I am always interested in a business opportunity.
Yes, well, this is how much you sell for.
Oh, well, I will tell you this. It took quite a bit of effort against a lot of odds to bring that machine back online. And I'll tell you this, it works like a dream. So I'd say I'd sell it to ye for 2,500 gold.
Yes, this is not real number. Your number sounds like imaginary number.
I know you have trouble with some maths, I know you've had some problem converting time into money and all that, but I'll tell you this, 2,500 gold is a very reasonable price for this.
It is, I'm sure, good price from your mind. But let me tell you, I think you could sell it for 1,500 gold pieces and be very rich.
Boy, now that would be... I would be digging quite a hole for myself for all the time and money I've invested in getting her back up and running. I don't think 1,500 gold pieces will do.
I think actually this will save you money in the long run. The happiest day, they say, in man's life, in Gnome's life, is first, second most happy day he buy Cloud Runner. Happiest day he sell. It is old expression, Dragonborn expression.
Oh, that's a very odd expression to have for a member of any species. But I will say that 1,500 is very, very low.
Well,
Let me ask you this. Have you managed to find some silver? I've found myself in need of a bit myself, but as you know, there's been a dearth of silver around in these parts. The Helter Smelter mines were once flowing with silver, but it appears the mine operations have been closed recently. And, not much silver has been flown, or anything has been flown out of those mines.
I will tell you that I have seen the silver, but I probably need Cloud Runner to get there, to get it back to you.
Well, that could be a problem then. And you don't have 2,500 gold then to buy the Cloud Runner straight up then.
Oh, I did not say this. I just said it's not worth this.
Ah, so you do have the means, my friend.
What are means? Means are a construct.
How much do we have as a group? Do we know?
We found 500 rubies. Well, 500, I guess, gold worth of rubies. 1,000 gold, 500 emeralds, and 500 sapphire. So we have 3,000-ish. I think if that equals gold a piece, I think it does.
Yeah, I mean the values that you.
The values equal. Yeah.
The value you can certainly. It's
Sure.
basically interchangeable for gold. Yeah.
Great.
Okay. So what is best offer you can make?
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm in need of some silver myself, and I would certainly like to see the Helter Smelter mines up and running again. If you go over to the mines and clear out the problem that they're having there, perhaps I'll give you a discount on the Cloud Runner. Say 2,000 gold pieces.
Yes, discount of 2,000 gold pieces for sale price of 500 gold pieces.
No,
Deal
you're
is done, and
misunderstanding.
he's already shaking hands.
You're misunderstanding. He snatches
Already
his hand
shaking
away.
hands.
He snatches his hand away. No, you're misunderstanding once again. I'm
will
saying a
honor
discount.
deal, no?
No, there's no deal. I'm saying
Yes, you will
500
honor
gold
deal.
pieces off the price for a total of 2,000 gold pieces for the price of the Cloud Runner.
The Draconis does not let you take back deal.
Are you new imperialist then?
Yet.
Then why did you
All right,
say that?
How long have this negotiation been going on for?
Maybe like 5 minutes.
I don't know. In my real life, it feels like 30.
Yes. So
I'm sorry
Okay.
we haven't fought anything, Paul.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just like, how much can Tyler try to
I
grind
know.
the
You
wheel?
gotta
This
Grind
is
that
actually
stuff
great.
out,
I
bud.
love this.
Oh.
Oh, you just love the accent.
it is
I'm a sucker
quite,
for an accent.
quite hard to keep.
Can I
Uh,
lumber in at this point and go, we're gonna go fight some in the mines? Oh, deal.
Is that what
there
you're
goes
saying?
my leverage.
Yeah.
Oi, if you go into the I don't know what's going on in there, but if you go into the Helter Smelter mines and find out what's causing the blockage, causing the ruckus, then and start the flow of silver again, I'll be certainly grateful to you.
Yes.
The
you
town
will-
of Cordis certainly will be.
You will also
we're
be
already
paying us.
heroes. We're already deputized. It'll be great. Show them a badge.
Okay. I will consider. You consider also my deal of 500.
I will certainly consider your offer of 500 gold pieces.
Yes, you will.
And then we shall talk about a real number perhaps when you return. Unless you're willing to pay full price now.
Well, I'll walk in and I'll say, how much is full price for this device that travels?
2,500 gold.
Does it require fuel? How do we fuel it?
Some of the modifications I've made. The Cloud Runner can travel about 10 to 15 days, depending on its usage, before it needs to be recharged, so to speak. There are 2 known recharging stations, as it were. One is in Stratus Excelsior, but good luck getting in there. The other is in Telworth. But I found a way to make whatever magical source last a bit longer, work a bit more efficiently. And so, I can make the Cloud Runner last for about 20 days.
Where did you charge Cloud Runner last?
Oh, I had to cart it all the way over to Telworth and bring it back myself. It was quite the arduous affair.
You are a clever gnome, you know that?
The cleverest, they say. The cleverest in Cordis. Oh. I'm going to write that down. Start scrawling in a notebook.
Well, do you guys want to do some mind stuff, or do you just want to pay and get going?
Yeah, let us go and speak outside.
Okay, we'll step outside.
Okay, you step outside.
Yes. I say we go to mine.
I'd also say we go to mine. Silver would be extremely valuable when we fight the werewolves.
Yeah, why is there no silver, guys?
Yeah, it is because, as Dragonborn old saying goes,
you're not Dragonborn.
Where the silver is not, the sky will be. I'm not sure what it means.
That's because you aren't. All right. Well, okay.
Cerise, who is standing outside, kind of waiting for you all.
Yeah.
She's like, "Shut up and get back in this alley, you all," and it's like kind of forcing you back into the alley.
Yep.
Now, look, I've had a change of heart, and she looks over at Roar very briefly. Look, if you want to get at that Cloud Runner, I can help you get it. But I'll tell you this. The whole town's going to be after you once he reports that it's been stolen.
Oh, so, we're not stealing it. We're not. I don't believe in that. He was willing to sell it, so I think we should, when we have enough gold, we should just buy it. No need to steal it.
She kind of looks taken aback. Where did you all get 2,500 gold pieces?
In a deep crack.
Yeah, she looks at you. I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
Smiles has shifted back into smiles at some point around the corner.
Yeah. I hate when you do that. Is this even your real face?
It took him a second to get his normal voice. I think he almost went to Anatoly.
Don't do the Scooby-Doo ending.
Cerise. Only when we're alone. You know that.
Nope, gross.
All right, that's enough.
Don't want to hear
that
about
is
that.
enough.
Nope.
All right, look. If you are legitimately going to buy that Cloud Runner, more power to you. But I will tell you this: there is a way to get it out, but you are going to have the whole town on your back. Lavella Moorstrader will not stand for that kind of thievery. But I can help you get it out. You decide what you want to do.
No, the Koi boys do not steal. Right?
They don't?
Bro man, we don't steal. But hypothetically speaking, like in an alternate universe where maybe, we were thief adjacent and we didn't have any money, like how would one go about reclaiming, you could argue, stolen Aarakocra property? Repatriating maybe, man, just one Aarakocra trying to get back some hidden Aarakocra secrets. Just saying. How we do that?
I see what you're saying. Well, I'll tell you this. There has been no shortage of people taking a look at that warehouse, and Hobart keeps it well guarded. The thing is, he trusts me to hire the guards and pay them. So we can maybe have him take a little walk. But I'm sure he set up all kinds of contraptions inside to guard it as well. And inside,
I'd like to do an insight check. I would like to do an insight check.
What are you
See
trying
if
to
she's
insight?
like, I'm trying to suss out. Is she setting us up for a trap or anything like that?
Go ahead and make insight.
I trust her.
11.
You don't detect any
Alternative mode.
yeah, nothing like that. She seems to be legitimately telling you what's going on.
I'm gonna take our rubies and $2,500 worth of currency and go back into Underwoods as I shift back into Anatoly. And I will say, "Hello, friend, comrade.
Oh, it's you again.
This is for you to hold on to, but when I come back with mine problem solved for you, you will return 500 and maybe a little bit of spirit."
This is like not how you do this, but go for
Yeah,
it.
he looks genuinely like his mouth is hanging agape. And he kind of like holds like the armfuls of like gems and coins that you just kind of laid on the counter. He's like, this is all right. So you're going to pay for the Cloud Runner regardless of what happens at the mines, then?
Well, you will return the 500 extra when we come back from mine.
A deal's a deal.
This is
all
how
right.
Dragonborn negotiate, apparently.
This is certainly not. This is very different from every other business transaction I've ever made in my entire life.
But you see that we are good for money, and you will make it worthwhile. Yes?
I do see this. I do see this.
So you see what I mean about you will give back extra.
What I hear is that if you, according to the deal that we struck before, if you clear out the mines and get the silver flowing once more, I'll give you a 500 gold piece discount on the price of the Cloud Runner. Yes.
Yes, but money is in your hands in advance, so you will do more.
Oh boy. What more would you have me do?
Well, you can make choice. You are a creative man, so maybe you put additional discount because you get to put this money to work.
We have an arrangement, bud.
Raj,
maybe
I would like to, in this moment, real quick, switch characters to be an NPC just for a moment, who happens to be a banker, and he's sitting here listening to this deal, and he just stands up and goes, "Boy, have you lost your mind? This is the stupidest move I have ever heard. What is wrong with you? How you're trying to negotiate? You have leverage. You take all the money. You don't give him all the money and then expect a discount. That's not how this works, man. What is wrong with you? Take your money back, give him like 500, and then you give him the rest later when you're done with the deal. That's how this works." He's like, "Stupid human, stupid Dragonborn. Can't believe they did." Also, here's my card. Take my business class.
What is
My name is Leroy, Leroy the banker. I have a whole class on financials. Feel free to jump right in this class. I will sit you in the next seminar. But don't do what you're doing right now. That's stupid. Okay? And he sits right back down. I'm done.
all right?
Good.
Yes.
Leroy
One
the
moment,
banker
please. And I
exits
pick
the
back up all the money. And quarter back in, and then go back out to meet with the Quarry boys. You will not believe what I have just seen inside. Have you heard of the Leroy?
Oh God! All right. Well, are we going?
So this is what my thought is. If we go to mine, and
You're going Italian. You're going Italian.
if we go to them, if we go to mine, it's and we lose money. Then we have nothing. We must steal. Skyrunner. But if we give him money to hold, then we get no matter what.
It's the most reverse logic. Okay, great. Let's go to the mines here. Hey, you guys get ready to, get it up, keep going on like that. Yeah, I'm gonna have a word with Cerise real quick, and then we can get going.
Yes.
Are you going to continue with your awesome business negotiation?
Leroy the banker has dissuaded him successfully from completing said transaction.
I'm immediately going to get writing on Leroy's backstory.
Yeah. The rest of you watch as this man in this dark-skinned man in a purple suit walks out with gold embroidery, carrying like a leather satchel.
He talks like this too.
Yeah. And as he approaches, like, here's my card, here's my card, here's my card, and you all see like there's a metal plate actually that he's handing out to everyone, scrawled in very nice calligraphy, Leroy the banker.
I turn to
Before he walks off.
Valfire and I say, I'm going to take his business class. Seminar.
Oh God. I will just bump into Cerise. Yeah.
Why does this not tickle Paul? But Paul is just there fuming over here. Just
Paul is like, did someone say initiative? No.
Oh no, I'm fine with it. It's just, how long can we talk to this guy? Let's buy it and move on.
Yeah.
Let's
That
go.
is up to you and your party.
All right, to Cerise, I'll bump in and pull her off to the side as we get walking toward the mines and go. Is anyone? Can I actually look around? Can I pop Owl out and go, "Hey, do a lap. Anyone watching us, listening to us?"
Oh, it is so good to see you, so wonderful to see you. I have made an interesting correlation between the downstroke of the frost rune as engraved by the
Does the
orcs.
frost rune help identify if people are lip reading us right now?
No, it does not, but
Okay, then let's get chopped up on that and see if anyone's watching us, because we gotta have a conversation a little high.
Perhaps we could discuss later these. I must tell you.
I'll show you my tiny hut, and then maybe you can draw some of your runes on the inside for decoration. How about that?
No, it's not a decoration. This is
Oh, it'll look
material
so nice though.
publishable in the most prestigious academic journals across all of Amaryl. I'm telling you, this would be something that would be revolutionary. If I just
Like
need,
books,
I
yeah,
just need
no,
your
right now, though,
opposable
it's gonna
thumbs to help me write this.
You know what? I gotta make sure that they're ready to throw fire out of them and stuff.
All right. Okay. Well, then perhaps we should discuss it at a later date. Then I will search around for you, but perhaps we could.
It'll definitely, maybe, probably happen.
All right. I will take that as a certainty. And he flies off.
Lovely. And I'm just waiting for him to talk to me if he sees anyone watching us. Can I actually have him make a perception check to see?
Yeah, go for it.
still love it.
Natural 20!
Very good.
Yeah.
What's
Like
the
a 20,
total?
I
roll
think it's
for
like
it?
a 23.
23. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So with a 23, Owl mentally communicates with you. After a few seconds, says, "Pro, it appears that there is a shadowy figure lurking in the darkness, following us closely. Quite suspicious. Shall I investigate?"
Oh, yes, please. Absolutely.
"I shall do so with the utmost stealth and cunning. Wait here." And Owl flips off into the darkness. A few seconds later, he returns. "The figure seems to have disappeared."
Like, disappeared? Like, isn't there anymore, or you just can't see him?
"I couldn't say. The figure is no longer there."
Hey, I'll tap Valfire on the head and go, "Hey, we have someone watching us. Think you can follow Owl and go do a little reconnaissance?"
Yes, I've seen this. Someone tracking us.
You didn't want to tell us?
I didn't. I don't like to alert you of things if I don't know exactly what they are.
Good. We're a good team.
Let's.
Hey,
My
Lucius,
suggestion is.
Go ahead.
My suggestion is we continue on with our adventure and just keep always watching, always looking, and we'll catch this person. It could very well be our patron or one of Smiles' other girlfriends. We don't know, but
Okay.
I fear it not.
I'll tap Lucius too and go, "Hey, bud. Let's triangle pattern, just in case. Anti-surveillance. You know our deal."
Let's go.
Okay.
Yep, lovely. Anyway, as we walk too, I'm under in hushed tones to Cerise. I'll just ask, so What news of the Shadowlancers?
Excuse me.
Say that quote again.
I said, what news from the Shadowlancers?
She
Shadowlancers.
She kind
Is
of
that something
looks-
we've heard before?
No, it is not.
she looks around and says, "Quiet. We'll talk about it when the time is right."
Okie dokie.
And you all continue on. And where are you heading at this point?
To the
We're
mines.
no. We're going to rest. It's evening.
We've already rested. I mean, like, we've long rested to get here.
We got here at night.
So what?
Yeah, but it took us 4 days to get here. If you don't have any spell slots, you would have slept at least a couple times by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just nighttime, and maybe Cerise, little.
No, I do not want to see that
Nope.
scene. We can cut away to that. We can cut that scene.
You can have your own micro
you can
session.
do a little mini episode after this.
Yep. You guys feel free.
That
I
will
don't
Hey,
not
want
we
be
to
did
end
happening.
episode 7.
Nope. We are going to fade to black on this scene. And as you all are walking through the town, you let's see. Sorry, looking. Valfire, you start to hear as you're kind of walking through the third level of Deep Crack, you start to hear muttering on the air. In the air, the sound it's in a hushed sort of low tone, attempting to be secretive, but it's definitely not. And it's the sound of whispers, like. But then the words start to become clear, and you can hear arcane syllables being uttered, and it sounds like someone is in the middle of casting a spell. You gain this insight at the same time as you start to hear the unsheathing of blades from scabbards in the alleyway ahead of you, and before
let
you
us
all
know.
know it, you are suddenly bombarded and attacked by a group of unseen assailants. And when we pick up next week, we are going to roll for initiative.
Oh God.
Everyone, two
surprise round?
arms, two
Not great.
arms.
Not great.
With advantage?
Next week.
Yes, Tyler, you can roll with advantage now, and then roll again for real next
I'm
week.
excited to see what Cerise does.
We will find out next week. All
right,
right,
thanks, Sarge.
Thanks everyone for tuning in for one more session of All the Time in the World, and we will pick it up again here next week.
Booyah.
Good night.
And we out.
All the time.
And
in the
we
world.
out.
And we're out.